It's experiment time! Yippee! So, after yesterday's story, let's learn more about eggs. There are lots of different eggs and they come in all sorts of different shapes and sizes and colours. Just look at this picture. The smallest egg, that's from a robin. Very small indeed. Whereas the largest egg here is from a bald eagle. It's so much larger than the robin's egg, isn't it? But the largest egg of all is laid by the ostrich, which interestingly enough is also the biggest bird in size. It is in fact so big that it can't fly. You can see its egg just on the very right-hand side of this picture. It's too big even to fit in the full picture. However, these are the eggs that you're most likely to find in your fridge. These are chicken eggs. The brown ones are the ones that are popular in the United Kingdom here in Scotland, but the white ones are very popular in America, which is why sometimes when you see in different storybooks and different programs on the telly, the colour of the eggshell can be different. And of course, talking about coloured eggs always makes me think of Easter. And the reason that we colour eggs at Easter, we paint them or we buy them in beautiful foiled wrappers in the supermarket, is because the egg is a sign of new life. It is how some animals produce young. It's easy to assume that it's just birds that lay eggs, but you would be wrong. It's also the group of animals named reptiles, things like lizards and crocodiles. They also lay eggs. They bury them in nests under the ground. Scientists have also found evidence left behind from dinosaurs that they too built nests and laid eggs. Golly, I wonder what size eggs they used to lay. However, the eggs that we buy in the shop do not have any baby animals in them at all and are actually very good for you. Well, most of them are good for you. This is my favourite way of having an egg. Maybe you'd like to have a boiled egg for your lunch today. Inside an egg, there's two different colours, aren't there? There's the yellow bit, which is the yolk, and there is the white bit, which we call the egg white. Now, when we cook it, the egg goes hard, but actually when the egg is raw, it is a liquid inside. The longer you cook an egg, the harder it will become. Let's have another look inside the egg. Inside the egg there's an oval shape, that is the yolk, and that contains lots of energy. It's really good for you. And when there's a chick growing inside it, the chick will actually feed off the yolk. It's very important. The egg white is see-through before it's cooked, and actually its purpose is to protect the growing chick. But for us, if there's no chick inside our egg, we can whip it up and mix it with sugar to make delicious meringue. This is a picture of a chick growing inside the egg. You can see that eventually as the chick gets larger and larger, it fills almost the whole inside of the egg. Would you like to see a chick hatching? Here we go. This video was taken actually in Form 1 because we've often reared chicks in our classroom. When the chick has been in its egg for 21 days, it starts to peck very hard at the inside of the shell. This takes a long time and you can often just hear a little noise. It's called the pipping stage. The chick has a very special egg tooth attached to its beak and it uses this to try and break the shell. But it's very, very tiring process and it does take a long time. And you can see, even though that this video has been speeded up, the chick will rest for quite a long time before having another roll around and another push. Can you see it resting now? Can you see it breathing? Can you see its feathers? Its feathers look very different. Because it's been inside the egg, it's covered in some of the egg white, so it's a bit damp. So the feathers are very wet. Can you see the chicks behind that have already hatched? They're rolling the egg around. Poor little chick. It doesn't hurt it. And look, oh, I'm having to move the camera here. Can you see it? I can see a foot. Can you see the wing? Push, 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 little chick. There he is. And he has to rest He's okay. It's just because it's so tiring for him getting out of the shell, he has to lie still and have a little bit of a rest. The longer he's in this little incubator, his feathers will fluff up until he eventually looks like this. This is William Basil's brother and Evie's big sister Gracie holding our Form 1 chicks from 2 years ago. Aren't they cute? Here's Sylvia, Hamish's big sister. Right, on to our experiment. You will need 1 or 2 eggs, some white vinegar and a tub with a lid. Put the egg inside your tub. You might like to use a bowl or a cup, but it's really good if you can see through it. Pour in the vinegar, and vinegar often has a tiny hole because it's not something you want to use a lot of. It's very strong. Give it a sniff. Do you like it? I like to have a little bit of vinegar on my chips, and sometimes you use it in salad dressings, but a little goes a long, long way. Vinegar is very acidic. It's quite strong a liquid. What do you think is going to happen to the egg now it has been completely submerged in vinegar? You might like to do a control experiment with an egg in a tub of water. This experiment takes quite a long time, and it's going to take a lot of observation skills from your side, which is why having a clear container is a really good idea. A lid is also a very good idea, just in case it gets bumped, and to keep in the vinegary smell. When your egg has been in the tub for a little while, take a really good look at it. Then go away, leave it somewhere safe and go away, and then come back a few hours later. This is what had happened to our egg. Can you see all the bubbles clinging to the side of the egg? There's loads of them. Some of them are bursting and popping. I wonder what you'll see on your egg. This is the next day. Our egg has now been in the vinegar for probably about 36 hours, so it's about a day and a half. And you can see things are starting to happen. Can you describe what you can see? I can see some bubbles. I can see some dark brown bits. It's very foamy and bubbly. This is day 3 that our egg has been in the vinegar. Look at it now. I can see lots more dark brown bits on the top of the vinegar. Ugh, doesn't look very nice, does it? I think there are fewer bubbles, and I can't see as many bubbles clinging to the surface of the egg. And the boys and I also observed that the egg seems to be bigger. And here we are on day 4. Now all eggs are different. Some might be done quicker than 4 days, others might take a 5th day even. Look, lots of dark brown bits on the surface of the vinegar. That is all that remains of the shell of the egg. Can you see how different it is in colour? It looks creamy, white, peach, maybe you might call it. And all the shell has gone. All that's left is the thin piece of membrane that is underneath the shell. You can start to play with it. Hold it a little height and then drop it. Hold it a little bit higher and drop it. Have a feel of it in your hand. Feels a bit like wobbly jelly. It isn't like a hard-boiled egg at all. You can still feel the liquid egg underneath moving. See how many times you can drop it and let it bounce. So far Aaron's had a turn, but now it's Ewan's. And he's taking it a little bit higher each time. We decided to do our experiment inside a very large cardboard box. You'll see why soon. Every time you drop it, just take it a little bit higher. Wonder how many times it bounces. And as you get higher, be prepared. Sometimes it bounces off the plate. And here we go again. Oh, this time it was so high the egg has broken. And you see what held it all together. This is called the membrane. Ewan called it a skin, and that is what it's like. It's normally just under the shell of the egg. When your egg has broken, you could use chopsticks or play with your fingers and have a good feel of what's left inside the egg. But always remember to wash your hands thoroughly. They'll be a bit vinegary and they'll be a bit eggy, so it's important to wash well with soap and water. I hope you enjoy doing your own bouncing egg experiment. Let us know how you get on. Bye-bye.